This is Advantage Rugby Referees, and we are going to look at the scrum. The purpose of the scrum is that it is a restart, and as referees, our goal is to ensure its safety and that it is a competition by setting it up for success. Firstly, patience is key. Both teams have to be ready within 30 seconds, and once they are ready, you call crouch. Make sure that the front row shoulders are in line, the loose head is not tucked, the teams are interlocking, both teams are at the same height, and when you have stability and no movement, then you call bind. On bind, you make sure that the props are binding, the tight head on the body, not the arm, the loose head on the side or the back and not under the body. Make sure all bodies are still straight, there's a gap between shoulders and all the shoulders are in line. When you have stability and no movement, you call set. And on set, the front rows have to remain bound, the bodies have to be straight, no stepping out, they push straight, and no walking around. Let's go into it in more detail. The red and the blue arrows indicate the direction that the teams are playing in. If you choose to make a mark parallel to the touch lines, then the hookers can have their right feet left of the mark. It is to ensure that players interlock, avoiding head-on-head. On crouch, you can see how the interlocking works and make sure both teams are at the same height. Some teams like to go very low on defense to make it more difficult for the team that's putting the ball in to hook. If teams are too low, instruct them to come up a bit. On bind, check that there are no heads on shoulders. It is okay for heads to be beneath the opposition shoulders. Shoulders in line across the front rows is very important. On some occasions, the loose head may tuck the inside shoulder below the hooker. This forces the tight head to have less space to scrum into and could allow the loose head to bore in on the tight head. On engage, it should be easy to identify a poor setup and differentiate it from a good setup. With a poor setup, the scrum will move at a 45-degree angle if the loose head dominates. Similarly, if the tight head dominates, it will move at a 45-degree angle in this direction. Here is a good example of the white loose head tucked under their hooker and at an angle which forces the red tight head to be at an angle. If you look at the near side of the scrum, you can see that both props are much straighter. In a well set up scrum, if the blue tight head dominates, they move forward straight, and if the opposition are under pressure, the scrum may rotate counterclockwise if the red loose head cannot hold the pressure, or clockwise if the pressure on the red tight head forces the red team to walk the scrum around. Here is an example of good patience, great setup, and a stable scrum. To summarize, be patient, ensure that you check all the points before each call, and continue to demand a high standard, setting the scrum up to be safe and to be successful. Thank you.